What is up, my friends? Welcome to another episode of the My Friend and I podcast. We're so excited for you guys to join us today. If you guys haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast, I'm Tim.
I'm Rachel.
And we're a young adults podcast. We like talking about, some of the young adult topics of our time, and kind of working through life together. And that's kind of what this whole podcast community is about. Something we like to say is EATL. That's right, EATL. If you guys know what that is, that's EETL. And it's an acronym. It stands for, say it with me, folks, to encourage, engage, teach, and learn. Not two T's.
Not two E's. Not two L's.
What we meant to say was it's not two T's.
Not two L's.
But two E's. Okay, and I'm pretty sure we switched the two E's around all the time. Engage and encourage, but it is what it is.
It's okay.
So it stands for encourage, engage, teach, and learn. We love to encourage each other, engage with each other, teach, and learn from each other. So that's what this whole podcast is about. And we always say that we're not like pastors by any means. Mm-hmm. We're just young adults trying to figure out life together. And we'd love for you to join the ride. Mm-hmm. So today we have
you can do that here.
That's right.
Or by following us on socials.
That's right. On the socials.
Follow us so that we can be friends with you. That's the goal of the podcast. To build community. Encourage, engage, teach, and learn.
That's right. And if you guys have anything you guys want to share, or if you guys have a question, feel free to send that over in love, hopefully. Or you can drop it down in the comments below and engage and teach from and learn from each other. Come on, guys. Very exciting. But today we have a good topic. But before we get into that topic, why don't we start with some updates? Rachel, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, actually.
What is new?
Actually, like I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I mean, isn't that just like regular life though? Like sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not.
Life's been good lately. I just ended my third quarter at school.
Here we go. For y'all don't know, Rachel's a teacher,
full-time art teacher, and we do quarters at our school. So we're going into our fourth quarter now, and I have new faces and new kids coming. I'm also kind of sad though because my other ones are leaving me.
But this happens every quarter though.
Yeah, and it's just like you so used to a classroom with so many kids, and I know that there's like teachers out there. Like I have friends that are classroom teachers that they have the same kids all year, and so you just like build those relationships, and I only get 9 weeks with them. So within those 9 weeks,
which is really not a long time.
It's not.
Like you hear 9 weeks, and you're like, that's it sounds long, but it's actually not that long.
No, it's not, and it helps that like I see all the grades, and so my 7th graders this year I had last year, so the relationships are forming. It just takes longer, a lot of names to learn.
Yes.
But it's fun because it's like new. That it's not like, I don't know, it doesn't get boring, but it's just like a new thing, so it's an exciting thing.
Yeah. And another chance, a fresh start to impact kids on the daily. Come on, that's exciting.
Yeah,
that's
and
exciting.
I get to reuse like content, and so it gets easier.
So the planning isn't as hard. I mean, I'm sure you have to shift things around if you need to.
Yeah.
I'm sure all you teachers out there probably could relate to Rachel. If you guys are doing quarters or trimesters, it's always hard at the beginning of the trimester, but then it kind of rolls out. But it's another chance to impact kids. Yeah.
Well, and then my 8th graders, they're semesters, so I have them till the end of the year.
There you go. There you go.
And they're very sweet, but yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to start a new one, last one, and then summer.
And then summer.
It's gonna be good.
Summer time, guys. Oh my gosh, that can't come fast enough.
We had like fake summer here.
Yes.
What is it? When was it?
Like 2 weekends ago.
It was like 70.
It was like 70 degrees like this last weekend.
Yeah.
And then it dropped down to 40 again.
Yeah, it's like 35 out.
Yeah, it's
and
insane.
then it's just getting hot again. It's so dumb.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we're in Minnesota. And so Minnesota is one of those states that fluctuates so much in the spring. Sometimes, like, I feel like 2 weeks before that, we had like the 10 inches of snow. And then it hit 70. And it dropped back down to 40. And now we're just kind of starting to roll into the normal early spring weather. You know, that 40s, 50s kind of weather. So, yeah. But yeah, Minnesota is a great state. I would say. Other than that, so yeah.
Timbo,
yes.
What's new with you?
Well, nothing's really that new with us.
Any new furniture?
No new furniture this time. No new furniture this week. But I've been working on my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
So
your garage.
yeah. So fun story of Tim. So I'm a car guy, and not a car guy as in like I I like fixing cars. I mean, I like fixing cars, but I'm one of those guys that likes working on my own cars. And not to say that I wouldn't help any friends or family, but I grew up, as a gearhead. I love cranking on gears and fixing things. And me and my cousins, we would, mess around with cars, his car, my car. It was a lot of fun. So I kind of carried that into my adult life. And so, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of done it less. You just don't find time to do it no more. But recently, like, I've had like a resurgence,
an itch.
an itch to do it.
Yeah.
And so the car that I own right now, I've had for 5 years and haven't done much to it. Just kept up with the maintenance and fixed anything that broke. And but now I'm kind of just buying new parts to make it look cooler, in my opinion. And that's something that I did growing up too. So it's kind of tapping into that a little bit. But so not furniture, but still stuff,
I feel like we're so similar in the fact that something will drain us and we'll not want to do it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just get that, like,
Boom.
urge that you just need to do it.
Is that ADHD?
Like, all the time.
Is that ADHD?
100%.
It's 100%.
No, like, mine's watercolors. Yesterday, I painted watercolors for, like, 6 hours after work.
You straight?
Yeah.
Holy
And
buckets,
I was
Rachel.
like, I am having so much fun. I just need to keep painting.
Yeah.
And then
afterwards, you're just like,
well, no, and
No
now
more.
I'm like, I want to do it again. Like, it hasn't ended, but it will. It will, and then I'll be like, I
you
want to touch
won't
it.
touch it for like years.
Yeah. It's
yep.
because my kids at school, they watercolor paint, and when I do it with them, I don't want to look at paint again.
Oh,
so
yes, I know.
But,
But
oh my gosh.
And that's the thing too. I'm impressed that you still want to do art at home. Like, you're doing it all the time at work.
Yeah.
And then coming back home and still having the motivation.
Well,
Dude.
it's
that's
like-
a battle.
It's like
I can't.
It's like passion, purpose.
For sure.
For sure. One of those things. Yeah. I think we did a pod on that.
Yes, if you guys want to go see that episode, click on the channel below. Go and sift through. It's somewhere. It's one of the recent ones.
I was like, are you gonna pull that out?
No, it's one of the recent ones. I think it's like episode 17
recent.
or something. I don't remember.
It was pretty recent.
So feel free to watch that one back. But yeah, I mean, the cars for like fixing cars is kind of like that. It's like, I'm like, I haven't done anything, and it wasn't like I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not worth the time.
Yeah.
Worth the effort.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it'd be nice to have like,
Yeah.
cool mods on your car and everything like that. But I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of enjoying it a lot recently. But here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem for all you gearheads out there who crank on gears like I do. You always find that a project on a car, it's not as it always seems. It's not as it seems. There's always something that goes wrong, and so. You're like, oh, this is a $200 project, but by the end of it, it's like a $400 project because you end up breaking things on the way in, and so on the way out, you gotta buy new things to fix the things you broke on the way in. And my car is an old car; it's an '07, so a lot of the plastics that are in the car are more brittle. Screws are corroded, so yeah, love working on old cars,
gosh.
but man,
This is on topic.
Yes,
but
yes.
We just had career day at my school.
Hey, career day
on Thursday, and I got put into the career category for the car salesmen.
What?
Isn't that random?
What?
Isn't that random? Like,
what?
They put like someone in each classroom, and there was like
Oh.
legitimate like there was an artist there.
I thought that they put you.
No.
They came into your room.
Yeah, they came to my room.
yeah,
but it was funny because there was like an artist there and stuff, and then they were
Car
like
salesman.
car salesman, and I was like, all right, I'll roll with it. And so these like two guys came in, and they were talking to all my kids, and then like they did like groups, so like other kids came in.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we'll tell you guys about how we sell cars, and the kids are like sitting, and it was cool, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
And then they go, we got a car out in the lot that we want you guys to all come and see, and it was a Ford Raptor, like a really giant
truck
when you like race, basically. Like it was giant, and it's freezing out, and so we all go out in like this big car, and I'm like in a blanket because I have a classroom blanket, and I'm like cocoon in this blanket watching my kids like look at this cool car, and then the guy's like, do you want to get in the car and like sit on the heated seats because they're so cold, and they're like, you should rev the engine. And so I'm sitting in the front seat in my blanket like cocoon, and this car is just like eating me. It's so big. And I revved the engine, and it scared me half to death. It was so scary, like my soul left my body, and I leaped out of my skin, and all my kids laughed at me. But oh my gosh, it was a big car.
Yeah, dude, those Raptors are big trucks.
Yeah,
man.
and then we were like looking out of the hood, and I was like, "There's the engine," and the kids were like, "Whoa, you know about cars?" And I was like, I'm just smart like that.
One day you too will be as enlightened as me.
And I was like, "That's it. That's all I got." It's like the battery somewhere. I didn't even know.
That's the battery, and I mean, kids don't know, so you can point at anything, and they'll be like, "Wow!"
I was like, "We should check the oil. I can do that."
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, it was cool though.
That's cool. That's cool. Well,
Yeah.
guys, thank you for listening so far. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that portion of the podcast. But why don't we go ahead and get into it today?
Today's
Rachel,
topic.
what are we talking about?
We are talking about life balance today.
Ooh, as if
Life balance.
as if we
'Cause we're great at that.
apparently, no. No, we wanted to kind of talk through this topic because the whole idea with all the topics that we talk about, our hope is that it's to help us as young adults prepare for what's to come, for past our young adult season of life, because this season is so important as our young adults, or as young adults, and as people, because we want to set up ourselves for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And how do we do that with intentionality? How do we do that with wisdom and insight? How do we discern the right decisions to make now so that our later selves can benefit from it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not saying like you have to like create a giant
No.
plan to live out the rest of your life, but by like jumping into like healthy habits and good relationships and
Boundaries
and things.
purpose and
this young, it really does set you up
100%.
for your future.
100%. And so guys, disclaimer, I'm 27 or turning 27.
I was like, no, you're not.
I'm turning 27. And so, I'm thinking more and more about, like my life after my 20s, because I'm like, well, I only have 3.5 more years left of my 20s. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy to think about. I have friends who are turning 30. I have, family that's turning 30 who I thought were really close to me. And they're already, in their 30s doing their own thing. And I'm like, man, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. That soon enough, I won't be able to call myself a young adult. And so I'm like, I got to get things working here.
You're just going to be an adult.
Yeah, I'm just going to be an adult. And so the thing is that, like, this idea of, well, I've been kind of processing through it. It's like, well, how am I balancing my life so that when that time comes, that I have a basis or a foundation to work off of, so that I'm not still in this season of figuring out what to do. And not to say that you have to get it figured out by 30. That's not the point. But for me, this is just personally for me, I want to be set up before I kind of get to, that mid-30s time, that 30 to 35. And I want to be able to take intentional steps to get me there. And what that might look like. So I just kind of wanted to share our thoughts and kind of, maybe talk about it and how you guys might feel about it. Again, it's we're not pastors. We're not professionals. Not doctors of anything, okay? We're just a couple of young adults trying to figure out this weird season of life.
We were the worst doctors.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I feel like we got some good qualities.
The way that I would just run away. Oh.
Yeah, so, why don't we go ahead and dig into it, guys? Come on. So, I guess a great way to start is, where do we start?
I know.
Rachel, let's start with this. Rachel, how do you feel that your work-life balance is right now, or just your life balance between work, friends, family, passions? Where are you at?
I think that I honestly, okay, I'm gonna say this again, and you're gonna tell me I'm not. But I think it's a very like extroverted, introverted thing.
Yeah.
Where I feel like introverts have it figured out a little bit more.
Probably.
Because they really are in tune with like themselves. I think that I fall somewhat into that category because I don't think I'm a full extrovert like you. I feel like you're very more extroverted than I am.
Sure.
Even though I'm like an extrovert basically. But I feel like I've always done, I think, a good job at reading myself and seeing like, oh, I really need to spend time with this my family more. I really need to paint, so I'm gonna go paint. However, work.
Yes.
This like leap from college and being like you're only responsible for you and yourself, like that, it was so easy to balance work and to balance school and to balance life and friends and family.
Especially when they all have their own timeline.
Yes.
Like classes never went past 4
Yes, it's
4
like
p.m.
your class ends
Yep.
and then you go home and you eat with your family
Yep.
and then you can go hang out with your friends and then you go to church on a Sunday. It's like everything has like a spot, and then you start like a full-time job. And my job specifically, I'm
about
in
to say.
charge of 208 kids a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think about myself at all until 3:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's felt a little bit like my time is like less, and that starts to kind of freak me out.
Yes, totally. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me too. Is that like, the saying is that as you get older, time gets or as you get older, there seems to always be less time, or time
Yeah.
gets faster. And I would agree with that. And I don't think it's necessarily like, that time is literally getting faster, but I think just because as adults, our
There's
minds
more
are
to
so
do.
occupied
Yep.
by so many things. I mean, like, do you remember like as kids, like all you have to worry about is going to school, and then like after school you can you can do whatever you want. Like what we used to do, like is me and my siblings would grab our neighbor friends and we just go to the park. We did that like every single
Yep.
day. And now, your lives are all, as young adults, your lives are just all consumed by, everything, right? Your
Right,
friendships,
yep.
your family, your work,
Yep.
your passions, everything kind of gets all mingled into one. And there really isn't like at this time work stop, and then this time, well, I mean, work does stop, but do we all really stop working?
It was just you had flexibility.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, how do we then take the free time that we do have, and then try to fit everything in?
Well, and then once you are free, you're tired.
For sure,
Like
that's literally the half the battle.
Like I just think like can we take it back to when we used to have to take naps when we were
oh
little?
my gosh.
We just don't get to nap anymore.
And then when we do nap, it's like 5 hours.
I know,
It's
literally.
like you wake up, you're
And
like,
then you have no time to do anything.
like that 1 hour nap you had as a kid felt like a day's worth of
Yes.
sleep, and now
Yeah.
you get 1 hour and you barely even fall asleep anyways, and you wake up and you're even more tired.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I mean, I feel that like, again, I think that's why it's so important that we figure it out now. We're young, we're in the season of life where things are changing all the time and things are moving, and so might as well start figuring things out and solidifying some stuff. So, the first point that we want to make is like, where do we start?
Yeah.
Where do we start
Where you
to
at?
kind of, and where did I start, and how am I starting?
Yep.
Something I really appreciate about, or that I really like about you, Rachel, is that you're very internal. So you like to reflect upon your season, and you like to act on what you reflected on. For me, it's harder. Like I feel like I'm such an external processor that I have to like just be doing something, and then when I fail, then I learn something. I can't just think about it. I think about it internally and be like, okay, I am lacking in this area. I need to get better. How do I do that? It's like I have to fail at whatever I'm doing in order for me to be like, oh yeah, I got to get better at doing this. And so that's something I've been trying to do too. And one of those things is being intentional with my time. And so something that I've been doing, and maybe you can speak on this and you can let me know what you do, but something I've been doing is I've been kind of reflecting on what are all the things that are consuming my week. I think that's where we start. We all should start, is just figuring out what we all are doing. What are you doing on the week-to-week basis? What do you find yourself doing a lot of? How much do you work? How often do you go see your family, your friends? How often do you get to do your passions? What are all the things that you do in the in-between? And then kind of go from there. That's kind of where, at least logically, I think that's where that's where I started. And I think that's where a lot of people would probably start too.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I don't know how you would.
I feel like I'm similar. I'm a list girl though.
Yes, lists are great too.
It's the lists for me. I think that I feel like I used to be more of a list girl. Now I don't have time to make a list. But I think that
again, work
yeah, I know.
Friends, balance.
I think I'm in the same boat now where you think you are right. I think I am very much. I used to be a really verbal processor, but now I think I'm more of an internal processor. No, lately I've been thinking a lot, especially with summer happening. Like, I don't know, work is good for me right now, and so I tend to not think about it.
Yep.
Unless I'm there, because I don't want it to be something that I'm like worrying about or thinking about.
That bleeds into the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think it's more so the relational part of my life that I've been focusing a lot on. So like my friends, my family, like church, like all of those types of relationships. And like for me, I don't know. This might sound like cold, but I'm not in like a phase of life where I'm gonna like waste time with people I don't want to be with.
Totally. No, that's a fair that's a fair
like
adjustment.
I love my friends and I love my family, but I know that like there are people in my life that are like seasonal, and there are people that I know that you were there for like a really important stage of my life, and I know that they'll still be there when I need them or when I want to see them, and I think they think of me the same way.
Sure.
But it's like one of those things where at the stage of life that I'm in is when I get home from work, like I just want to feel relaxed and at peace, and I want to be around the people that bring that to me. And spend time more with like Jesus and being alone, be more of an introvert. I'm trying. And then also just like health wise, like I was with, who was I with the other day? I was with my, probably? Yeah, I was with a friend the other day. And, I was with my friend the other day and their nephew. And he was like eating and eating and eating. And I was like, metabolism. Like I was like,
what is that?
I feel like I remember, and I'm not even that old. And I just like, I remember being like, I could just always like eat food and be fine. And now I eat just a little bit and I feel like I'm going to die.
See, I have never had that.
Stop.
Yeah, like maybe for a very short period of time.
Metabolism?
My metabolism has always been bad.
Really?
Yeah. I like
See,
like
my
eating habits.
Really high.
My eating habits have only recently changed as an adult, but throughout my whole life as a kid, I've had the same eating habit.
Oh my gosh.
And I was chubby and I slimmed down for like a year because of puberty. And then I just stayed chubby.
Okay, no, but I used to like go to like barbecue like buffets.
Yeah,
I could just eat.
See,
I can't do that. And now I have like a plate of food and I'm like, I'm so full. Yeah. And it just hits you so fast too. I'm like, wow, I need to exercise. Like, it's so.
Isn't that a word, guys? That's a word for
adulthood.
me.
But anyway, no, it's like your 20s. You just like start to think about all those things. Start to think about like, who am I hanging out with? What am I eating? How am I like seeking Jesus? Like all of those different things.
For sure.
You start to like realize like, oh, these are all things that I want in my life. So now how do I fit those together? How do I balance it all together?
Yeah, and I think that it's also important. Like I think I wanted to touch on what you were saying earlier, that you wanted to surround yourself with people who give you like life-giving characteristics. So, whether that's giving you peace, giving you love, giving you joy. And I think that that's so important for us as young adults. Like we need to there has to be space for that. What I find myself doing very often is overbooking myself.
Yep.
And I think it's from the nature of like being young.
Yeah.
You want to do everything, right?
You want to go to that thing, be that person.
Yeah, you're in school, you're in college, you want to do everything all at once. You're in high school, you want to do everything all at once. And the truth is that when you're in those seasons of life, you can't afford to do that, especially if you're not working in college.
Yeah.
Or in school. You have a lot of that time. And so that's something that I've been working through, because it's like I want to do everything, but I know I can't and I shouldn't.
Oh, you know what? I think I just got through that. Because I remember like my grandma. She's the best. I was at her house. I don't remember the last time we went to there. It was a while ago. But I was at their house and she was like, Rachel, you got to slow down. She's like, you're overbooked.
Ooh.
And I was like, Grandma, you're right.
I need to stop.
I was like, you're so right. And then like I gave myself 2 weeks where I literally said no to like everything.
Yes.
Unless it was like something that I like needed to do, like prepare for that thing. Like we went to on vacation like over spring break and stuff, and so I was like, those events that like I went to like prepare. But other than that, I was just home and I was so bored. And I found myself being so bored. And I was like, I just want to hang out with people. And I want to like da-da-da-da. And then at the end of the week, I was like, wow, I slept so good.
Oh.
Like my brain fog is gone. Like it's just like my body felt so good and so healed. And I was like, wow, I really did overbook myself. But it's like getting over like the I'm so bored and lonely feeling. The worst.
But the thing is that like your body is resting even if you don't think that it is,
Yeah.
And so having that intentional time is so important.
Yeah.
And so like even just figuring out space within your schedule.
Yeah.
I've been reading through this book called Leadership Beef Jerky.
Bro, what?
Yeah, it was a book that we got in college.
Not you like dropping in a book.
It's a book that we were reading in college, and I decided to pick it up again. And one of the chapters is talking about.
I need to Google it.
It's talking about margin, about mental margin, scheduling margin, spatial margin.
What is this called?
Leadership Beef Jerky.
That's not a book.
It's leadership points to chew on. but a part of it is about margin. How are we
It is.
creating margin within our lives so that we have that space, that capacity to be able to do things on a whim, on the go, where we don't feel pressured all the time to have to keep on doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a word for me.
Yeah.
So how are we as young adults managing our time well in order to have that margin where we don't feel pressured, where we feel like we can do things, without having to feel like we have to try to squeeze it in somewhere. And so, and I think that's where we all should start. Figure out all the things that we need to do.
Yeah.
Like, you got to work, right? Maybe family time. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm a musician, so I gotta have practice, right? Figure out all the things that you have to do, and then figure out how much margin is left over.
Yes.
And if you find that you're currently running at a low capacity margin, what are some of the things in between the needs and the cap that are unnecessary?
And you know what?
And how do you clear that?
I think too, like, I don't know, for me personally, it might be different, but the less busy I am, the things that I actually get to do that are super fun, like, bring me so much more joy.
100%.
It's like, oh, this is going to be a bad comparison.
Oh boy.
It's like In-N-Out.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
it's like In-N-Out. Hear me out.
Okay,
Hear me
here we go.
Hear me out. We talk about this a lot in my family. It's like when Minnesota got Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, big day.
Okay, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, big day.
It was so hype.
Or Cane's.
Yes, and we ate it
big day.
all the time. But now I like rarely go there. And it still brings me joy when I'm
still
there.
go.
100%. Like, sometimes I'm like, ooh, Cane's, oh, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But like, I'm less hype because it's always there. Versus like In-N-Out, like if we got In-N-Out, same thing. Like, we would be so hype. We'd be so hype. We'd be there all the time. But you eat it like twice,
and you're like,
Yeah. But it's like it's the hype of it always being there and always being a thing that brings you joy, and it does. But then like In-N-Out, it's like you have it, and you're like, that was so fun. Like, I never get to have In-N-Out.
Yeah.
And I think like I hung out with all of my friends the other day from like my childhood, and we all were just hanging out, and I was like, I just want to cry. It was so fun. Like, it was like the best experience, and because it just never happens. And so I think when you like really value time with the people you really love, and then value the things that you really love, like, it just brings you more joy.
Yeah, and it's more fulfilling.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing. It's more fulfilling. So from there, so kind of getting back on track here, it's like, okay, so then what do we do, Rachel? What do we do once we kind of figure out and laid out the things on the table? What are the things that we need to do? What are the things that we want to do? And what are the things that we are doing that are unnecessary? What do we do from there? And I think that the biggest thing is to make a plan.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like, a big plan that you have to have for your next 5 years.
Yeah.
We're talking like making a plan for even your next week, making a plan then maybe there from your next month. Figure out from the day to day, even like, how can I open up more space within my day so that I can enjoy the things that I want to do while still achieving the things that I need to do. Like, for example, something that I've been trying to do is stop playing video games. For a while. Okay, this is maybe another ADHD thing. For a while,
the hunting game.
I stopped playing video games. And then as of recently, like maybe this last year, I started picking it up again.
Yeah.
But I find that it's consuming so much of my time.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a dad, I realize how it's eating into my father time, my father-son time, my husband-wife time. And I realize, like, I need to stop. Like, before I started playing video games, like, of course I wasn't a dad at that point, but I was a husband still, and we were fine. We spent a lot of time together, me and Grace, and we still do. But then I realized that when I started playing more video games, it obviously cut in more time. We're talking like an hour, even if it's an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is. Like, it still makes me realize, like, I wish I had more time with my wife, because that was something I was used to doing.
Yeah.
So how much that eats up in my unnecessary margin, how can I get rid of that to open that up again?
Yeah.
And so I've been playing less now, which is great. And I still play like once every like 2 weeks or something like that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's allowed me and Grace to be more present with my son, with our son, and being able to play with him and bring him outside and take him places. And so in that aspect, it has helped me a lot too. So if that's something that maybe you want to work through, or maybe you're trying to work through, I think it's beneficial even just to start on the day-to-day. How can I make today different than yesterday?
Yeah.
How can I clear my mind space today
Yeah.
so that I don't feel as stressed as I did yesterday?
Yeah.
And then maybe go from there from the week to week.
Yeah. And like it can be small. Like
For
you
sure.
can start by like cutting out the thing that's
The-
I don't know, maybe the health thing,
Yeah.
the food thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like caffeine. I don't know. Something small to then prepare yourself for more and more and more of finding the healthy habits and the joy that you can then take with you into your future. And it's also like really respectful towards the people around you too.
For sure.
Like you're a husband. Like
Yeah.
like you're saying like I want more time with my son.
Gotta
Like
stay more present.
yeah, and your wife and stuff. And so you're like setting yourself up for success and then
Yeah.
also just being a model to the people that love you as well.
For sure.
So
For sure.
yeah, and then I think like for me, like I'm not a spouse or a father, but I think like I'm a teacher. Like
For
I
sure.
see, like
People
I see,
look up to you.
I
Kids
see,
still look up to
I know
you.
I see 208 kids a day, and so I'm constantly like, am I bringing the energy that is gonna make them want to like
Right.
see me as a leader and see me as like a teacher, or am I lazy sitting in my chair doing
Are
nothing?
you present for them?
Yeah. Like the
Yeah.
other day I found myself like answering some emails because my kids were working. And I was like, they don't need me, they're working. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, no, I don't want to be the teacher that like doesn't even like give them encouragement. Like I was just walking around, I like got up off my feet and I was like you're doing really great, and I was like walking around like hyping him up, and I felt like the room like shift into like like I felt the energy shift just by me walking around and like saying a few comments. And so I think I don't know, like find a new approach at things, find a new perspective on things, and push yourself. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
I think laziness really attacks us in
and I think
finding
that
this balance.
and I think a rest is very different than being
Yes,
lazy.
100%.
Yeah, rest is very different from being lazy.
Yes.
But because rest is something that you need. Laziness is a byproduct of us not wanting to do things.
Yeah.
And so. No, I love that. I love your example there of you as a teacher, even just having that intentionality of being present for. I mean, because again, like imagine if you were just at the computer doing emails, that's all opportunities that you've had to impact your students gone because you just decided to stay. But because you went up, it gives you a moment of fulfillment. You're feeling like you're fulfilled through those 10 minutes that you're walking around, and I think that's the biggest thing for us. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest things for us as young adults is how can we make intentional time in order for us to feel like we're doing something. I think that in this season of life, right, that's kind of there's a part of us that wants to strive to feel fulfilled, to feel like we're doing something in this world, because our world has expanded to the whole world. We're not just in school. We're not just in college. We're not just in our homes. But now we're working in a bigger set. We're working in the public. We're going out and visiting and traveling. So now the world our lives have expanded far beyond what we've been used to.
Yeah.
And there's a small. I feel like there's a small sense of us as young adults to feel like we're doing something, to feel like we're making a difference. And that's why it's such an important time of our lives to rise up as Christians, as good stewards of our lives, so it sets us up for our future. And so I feel like so if you are kind of struggling through balancing life out, make a plan.
Yeah.
Figure out what you're doing. Make a plan. Cut things out. Figure out what needs to change. What stuff needs to stay. What stuff needs to change. What stuff needs to be different. And then from there, take action.
Yeah.
Do it. And like what Rachel said, even if it's one small thing, start with one small thing, day to day, then try to make it week to week, the month to month, and then eventually you don't even have to think about how much capacity you have left. You already know where you are, and our hope is that as we grow, we find that the capacity that we do have is life-giving to us. So hopefully, the margin that we do have just grows bigger because we're so used to doing things that we are that we love, that gives us life, that gives us joy, that gives us a true sense of purpose.
Well, and I think like lifestyle shifts happen like over time,
100%,
but they fall into place
for sure.
Like even think about like Tim. Think about like your life now versus like 5 years ago. How like your lifestyle is so different.
So different.
It was like and it took 5 years to get where you're at now. But it's not like a bad shift. It's not a bad change. It just takes time. And so like making that list, like it'll look scary. like
Probably.
cutting out that thing that's like not good for you, or like walking away from that friendship maybe, or like
Yeah.
all of those things.
It could be hard.
It's hard and scary, but like there's also good growth that comes from that.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if you're struggling with finding balance, these are at least some of the tools that I found that worked in my recent life, and how to figure out work-life balance. I'm not there. I'll be the first to say I'm not totally there, but a lot of the things that I've tried to change or to move around in order to create more space has helped me a ton. And hopefully it can encourage you and help you as you're coming out of college. You're going into college. Start thinking about these things. Or maybe you're starting a family, or you just bought a house.
Yeah.
Start thinking of these things. Prioritize the things that needs to be prioritized. Be good stewards of this life that God has given us.
Yeah.
And not to, just throw all the hours and times out to things that maybe don't really matter. And that could be could be easy things to do or really hard things to do. I think it's something that we are all continue to work through, but hopefully we at least get a rhythm when we get to the place of what we call adulthood. So
yeah,
good.
I want to add one last thing, and then I was like dying. Okay. I want to add, when I started this year, when we did our first podcast, I don't know if the first one we did we didn't do a January one, right? We took the January off.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but the last January we did like a New Year's resolution,
Yes.
And I mentioned how I always choose a word for the year, and the word that I chose this year, I probably shared this in a different pod, but I chose the word for God, or the phrase for God, for Jesus, and I think one last like advice that I would give, and something that I'm leaning a lot into, is even if it doesn't feel like it's for God, like always ask God if it's for him and take it to him first. Because like even a habit of like, Lord, should I brush my teeth before having my coffee? Like I feel like always bringing him into that is like such a powerful thing to do, and such a relaxing thing to do. And I've found myself like asking Jesus so many things all the time now. And I'm like, even that feels like, at first it felt so dumb. I was like, he doesn't care. But I'm like, no, he does care. Like he 100% cares if I put peanut butter on my toast versus jam. Like all of those, like this itty bitty things, it's because it's not the ask. It's just you putting yourself in a place where you're inviting him into something.
Amen.
Shows you how much growth in your relationship with him comes out of it, but also shows him how much you love him. And so my advice to you is also, like, as you're building this balance of what's good for you and what's maybe not good for you, how can you bring Jesus into that?
Amen.
Because that's, I think, the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, like, everything should be for him, and he's going to be there at the end of the day. But maybe that controller for that video game is not going to be, right, or that friendship is not going to be there, but he'll always be there. So yes, how can you invite him into that?
Yeah. And that's ultimately our hope, guys, for you guys. Is that as you guys work through life and try to balance all these different things, that you can start to create opportunities for the Lord to come in, and to make clear the will that he has for you. So we'll end off today's podcast with our word of encouragement. This comes out of Ephesians 5, 5:15 to 20. And I'm going to read this real quick here. It says this: "Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit, speaking to one another with psalms, hymns, and songs of the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord. Always give thanks to God the Father for everything in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ." So everything that we do is for him, is from him. And so let's not waste our time with things that are not for and are not of God. And let us focus on the things that will help us steward our lives well in order to bring honor and glory to God. And ultimately, that should be our mission. So hopefully that's a word for you. It definitely was a word for me. And the way that we like to end these podcasts is with a question, the question of the month. Rachel, what do we got today?
Yeah, so the question of the month is a question that we post on our Instagram account. If you're not following that, go give it a follow so that you can see all of the questions for every pod. But it's just a way for us to hear from you guys for how you kind of took from the podcast and how you want to add to it. we like to hear from you because it carries on that conversation, and we will reply and we'll become besties.
Yes.
So this question of the month is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone to help them find balance? And I think it's a cool question. Tim wrote the question. And I think it's cool because a lot of our questions are always about yourself. And it's like, how are you doing this? But the question is, like, what's a piece of advice you'd give to someone else who's trying to find balance in their life? And so it kind of carries on that conversation. I'd love to like share some replies too.
Yes.
That people have. So.
Yep. And I mean, and the thing is that it could be advice for me. It could be advice for Rachel. And it keeps on that community of Edel to encourage, engage, and teach and learn from each other. So, guys, give us a shout out and answer our question on the Insta, on the socials. We'd love to hear back from you. And let's Edel it up. So.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode. Before we go out, Rachel, would you like to close with prayer?
I will close with prayer. I was like, is he going to ask? We'll see.
Come on.
Jesus, thank you for today, Lord. Thank you for just this community of people who just want to grow more in relationship with you. I thank you for how you're working in every one of our lives, that you're creating balance for us. Even though we may not see it, Lord, you're always there working. And I just pray that we can each find that balance so that we can just live our lives for you and do all we do for you, Jesus. Thank you for the community, for these friends. We just love you and give you all the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, amen. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.